As other religions believe that poverty is an indication of piety, this is not a belief for Judaism. The Jewish people believe that each person should avoid poverty and be gainfully employed to earn a living. This is a crucial value that has led to a good work ethic and a personal responsibility for each person earning their own keep. The Jewish people also believe in giving. 10 to 20% of their wages should go towards charitable and religious causes. However, they don't believe in depending on charity and becoming a burden on the community. Hello brewers. Welcome back to Dollar Brew. We have an exciting video for you today. So buckle up and join us as we take a look at 20 reasons why Jewish people are richer. This type of mindset creates a strong foundation to see success as the only option. Without any further ado, here are 20 reasons why the Jewish people are richer. Number 20 on the list is: European Jews couldn't own land. Anti-Semitism was not unpopularized in WW2. Jewish people have had a tough history, including not being able to own land in Europe. This dates far back to medieval times. The Jewish people found alternative ways to build their wealth outside of property ownership. One of the alternatives was being traders and merchants, to date where they still have a big impact in most countries. This has created a safe place for them, since where their services were needed, they were safe. Number 19. Religious opportunity was taken. Charging interest in the Middle Ages was a sin to Christians. This hindered them from holding any type of financial job. This, in turn, left the opportunity open for the Jewish community, who did not share the same views with the Christians. This is a big contributing factor to why the Jewish people are richer today. The Jewish people became prominent in money-lending businesses, and this lucrative business was the forerunner for many of the stereotypes we hear today of Jewish people. Number 18. Opened the first banks. From money-lending to opening the first banks was a hop and skip in Europe for the Jewish community. They could manage transfers, transactions, and day-to-day financial services. Also, they continue to lend money and charge interest with their strong financial background. However, it wasn't all easy for them. This success also led to jealousy, which fueled rivalry throughout the ages. Number 17. Most educated religious group. The Pew Center released a study in 2016 which listed the Jewish people as the most educated religious group in the world. On average, the Jewish community receives 13.4 years of schooling. The Jewish people hold 61% of the qualifications when it comes to post-secondary degrees. Although, the vast difference between the first and second most educated religions is so surprising. Christians rank second most educated, but compared to the average of 13.4 years of schooling among the Jewish people, they only rank up an average of 9.3 years at school. Since more credentials lead to a higher starting salary, this immediately improves the financial status of Jewish people right out of university. Number 16. Support from the United States. U.S. foreign aid. In 2011, Israel received about $3 billion from the U.S. And, of course, more money flowing into a nation's economy means more capital for investment, which, in turn, means more production, yielding higher GDP per capita. Number 15. Gold treasures buried under town. The Jews in the towns were poor too. They lived in density, 2 or 3 families in a 3-room cabin, and ate mainly bread or potatoes. But the poorest Jew was a bit wealthier than the peasants in the neighboring village. The peasant was a vassal while the Jew moved freely. The peasant was illiterate while the Jew had some knowledge. Therefore, in the villages there were tales about the Jews' imaginary wealth and the sacks of gold they are hiding, allegedly, underground. To this day there are people in Ukraine who believe there are gold treasures hiding under the places where those miserable towns were. So when they had the chance they went out to rob Jews, and when popular revolts broke out against the aristocrats, like the Khmelnytsky uprising of the Cossacks in the 17th century, the Jews were slaughtered. The process the Jews underwent in the Middle Ages in the West, persecution, impoverishment, poverty, and more persecution, happened later on in the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries to millions of Jews in Eastern Europe too. Number 14. Resilience and perseverance are second nature. Jewish people have shown resilience despite extreme challenges. It is innate, and the focus remains on the spiritual and practical. With this, they find it hard to give up. This means that when things go wrong in business, they don't feel sorry for themselves but figure out how to fix things. This resilience and perseverance enable them to accomplish their goals. Number 13. Good financial education taught over generations. Jay-Z got some backlash for his comments on Jewish people in his track, The Story of O.J. The controversial line was, "You want to know what's more important than throwing away money at a strip club? Credit. Do you ever wonder why Jewish people own all the property in America? This is how they did it." Many experts saw these comments as reinforcing the stereotype that Jewish people are richer and have some kind of global control of property and banks. Jay-Z defenders, however, saw it as a shout-out to Jewish success and a hint to the black community to follow the same business ventures and invest in each other. This kind of generational knowledge and market confidence in finance and property that the Jewish community has is enviable. Number 12. Parents teach their children the value of money. In many households, speaking about finances openly is taboo. Parents try to protect their children by not sharing their financial struggles with them or if they are wealthy. By using 5 jars, many Jewish parents teach their children how to handle their money wisely. Each jar is labeled tithe, giving and offering, saving, investing, and spending. The children are given 10 shekels, and the child puts 1 in the tithe jar, 1 in giving and offering, 1 in savings, 2 in investing, and 5 in spending. The giving jar is opened on Sundays, the tithe jar is opened at the end of the month, the savings is opened on special occasions, and investing is opened when full. The parents don't interfere with this structure, and the child is responsible for the money. Children learn from their mistakes and take charge of their decisions. Number 11. Wealth is managed effectively. Sages of the Talmud, the Lives, Sayings, and 400 Rabbinic Masters, a book written by Mordecai Judovitz, is a great read. You can also get it on audio. It shares many words of wisdom, including how to manage money with spiritual motivation. The book also talks about finances and diversification. Diversification means that capital is allocated so that it does not expose too much to one particular risk or asset but rather spreads it out to reduce the risks. Number 10. Networking is important. We all know how networking opens doors for business opportunities and only by actively participating with others. This will ensure we grow our business and wealth. People do business with those they know, trust, and who are genuine. With the Jewish community, there is ample opportunity to network. For instance, the Sabbath, synagogue, and Jewish celebrations help build a long-lasting relationship, both personal and business. This kind of networking is what makes them even richer. Number 9. Look at the past to plan the future. The Jewish community is aware that any circumstances that arise are not new. Looking at familiar situations that happened in the past makes it easier to make better decisions for the business. As we all know, patterns repeat themselves, and wealth is gained by learning those patterns or trends. Celso Kukierkorn, the author of Secrets of Jewish Wealth Revealed, writes, "Until now, your money has told you what to do and how much to work. Now we are going to turn that around. You will learn to tell your money what to do and how much to work for you." Number 8. Advice from one of the richest. Mark Zuckerberg was raised in a Reform Jewish household. He had a Star Wars-themed bar mitzvah. He was just 19 when he started Facebook in 2004. He says he has become more religious since becoming a father, and he often gives great advice for upcoming business leaders. He says, "Some people dream of success, while others wake up and work hard at it." Number 7. The simple truth. There are indeed a lot of Jewish people that are rich, and also true that there are some that are poor. The same goes for every other person, Jewish or not. The Torah teaches beautiful principles for success in life, which we can all learn from. The thirst for learning will set you on the right path to becoming financially secure. Rebbetzin Dina Weinberg, Orthodox Jewish Rebbetzin and founder and dean of Ayat College of Jewish Studies for Women in Jerusalem, shares advice we can all take in: there are no problems, only opportunities for growth. Number 6. Overall rich mentality. Jewish people have a rich mentality. They don't think like the poor. Most people grow up thinking they have to get a job to be successful. These people have a limited mindset, which shows in their ability to make money. However, Jewish people have an open mindset. It allows them to be open to new opportunities. They don't fixate on one source of income or job. They always look for new ways to make money. Number 5. They always studied more. Alongside the Jews, millions of immigrants arrived in the U.S. from Ireland, Italy, China, and dozens of other countries. They too have settled down since then, but the Jews succeeded more than everyone. Why? All the experts we asked said the reason was Jewish education. Jewish American student organization Hillel found that 9 to 33% of students in leading universities in the U.S. are Jewish. The Jewish tradition always sanctified studying, and the Jews made an effort to study from the moment they arrived in America, says Danny Halperin, Israel's former economic attaché in Washington. In addition, the Jews have a strong tradition of business entrepreneurship. The Irish, for example, came from families of land workers with a different mentality, studies less and initiated less. The Jews progressed because many areas were blocked to them. The Jews entered new fields in which there was need for people with initiative. They didn't integrate into traditional banking, so they established the investment banking. The cinema industry was created from scratch in the 1930s, and the Jews basically took over it. To this day there are many Jewish names in the top echelon of Hollywood and the television networks. Later on, they took high-tech by storm too, another new industry requiring learning abilities. Number 4. Jews in all centers of power. Lauder is definitely not the only American Jew funneling money to Israel while influencing the country. Many Israeli adults used to receive a parcel from the rich uncle in America during their childhood. Thousands of organizations, including hospitals and universities, receive billions of shekels in donations from the U.S. A Hebrew university study found that they make up about 2/3 of all donations in Israel. Each new immigrant receives aid from the Jewish Agency, whose budget is mostly made up of donations from the U.S. Many of us live on lands the Jewish National Fund bought from Arabs by Jewish American money. A Haredi Yeshiva student gets NIS $1,295 a month from the Israeli government, and another NIS $3,885 from Haredi American donors. The online Jewish Encyclopedia says some 5.6 million Jews live in the United States, not including 500,000 Israelis, about 1.8% of the population. Most of them reside in rich cities: Miami, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, and Boston, and mainly New York. A study of the Pew Forum Institute from 2008 found that Jews are the richest religious group in the U.S. 46% of Jews earn more than $100,000 a year, compared to 19% among all Americans. Another Gallup poll conducted this year found that 70% of American Jews enjoy a high standard of living, compared to 60% of the population and more than any other religious group. Number 3. Richer from loan with interest. The Jews in Western and Central Europe became less wealthy in the late Middle Ages, from the 12th century. Society developed and the Jews were pushed aside. The Christian craftsmen were organized in guilds and the Jews remained outside and lost their livelihood. The Christians opened universities and created new professions like medicine and advocacy, which required academic education, and the Jews couldn't study there. At the end of the day, they were pushed to despicable professions like loan with interest. But engaging in loan with interest strengthened the Jews' image as rich people exploiting the Christians. The loan with interest did not make them rich. They were dealing with change. The Jews were just the middlemen who loaned the aristocrats money to the poor. The aristocrats made most of the money. It's true that the poor debtors hated the Jews, with whom they had to settle accounts in their daily life. People hate those who collect from them directly, not the strong people behind them. Most drivers who get a parking ticket are angry with the inspector, not with the mayor who employs him, and the Jews were in the same situation as inspectors. Number 2. They look after one another. Maybe it comes from a long history of persecution, or perhaps it is just inborn nature, but the Jewish people are richer because they take pride in sharing their wealth to benefit the community. This mentality is part of their ethos, and it ensures that each member of the community is supported to enable them to succeed. If someone falls on hard times, the community will try to help. The Judaic law instructs that poor people are to be respected and protected. This mantra on uplifting the whole community has meant that, even the shunned Jewish communities manage to survive the hardest of times by investing in one another. Wealth is seen as a means to an end to growing a community. Before we continue, take a second to smash that like button, subscribe and turn the post notification on so that you'd be the first to know when we upload. Finally, number 1 on our list of 20 reasons why Jewish people are richer is their religion teaches good business practices. The Torah and many Jewish philosophers, writers, and leaders have emphasized how Jewish businesses must operate. According to the teachings, there is no room for dishonest practices. Any deception or price fixing against the customer is known as onah, which translated means oppression. Knowing that you're doing business with an honest person who is inspired by good ethics makes the Jewish business a very attractive business partner to many. That's all we have for you today, brewers. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.